Welcome to Part 3 of Videtech Corporation's versioning series of screencasts. This feature is a new addition that was released in Course 6. In this screencast, you will learn about the version history report and how to use schema mode to alter the versioning settings. This is the final screencast in our 3-part series. If you would like to review the version history of a group of entities, an attribute history report can be run using a script. Select the script icon, then the versioning folder, and the attribute history report. A dialog box will appear. For this screencast, we will run the report on the component class only, so I'll select No. Then select the facility, the class, the elements, and the attributes. When asked if you would like to show interim versions, select Yes if you would like the report to contain all versions. Select No if you only want the report to contain the baseline and the current versions. For this screencast, we will select Yes. Enter the starting date for the script to display versions. The script will ignore all versions prior to this date, producing a report that contains versions created on that date and later. If you want the output to go back to the date the project was created, you can leave the threshold at the default value. In the Save File dialog, select the location to save the file and the name of the file. Then click Save. The script will run, and a dialog box will alert you that the script was successful. Your word processing program will launch and display the document. The classes are separated into individual tables, and each element has its own heading. In this example, you see the component class at the top of the table. Below the element heading, there is a list of the version history by attribute. Notice the element names, AutoLink context, and emergency response. The left-hand column contains the attributes that have multiple versions, and the fields to the right contain the details of those versions. You'll also notice that the report indicates which versions are the baseline and current versions. All values between those are interim versions. From time to time, you may want to purge the interim versions to prepare the project for review. When you do this, you will lose all versions between your baseline and the current version. This should be a calculated decision as part of your project management plan. There are 2 methods of purging versions. The first method is quick and purges the version history of all attributes in the project. To do this, at the top of the Project Explorer, choose Project, then Purge Versions. A dialog box will appear. If you choose No, the dialog will close and no changes will be made. Click Yes to purge all interim attribute versions in the project. This is a broad purge and should be used with care. If you want to be more specific, you can purge versions in a facility, class, element, or attribute. A script is available that will give you these options. To access the script, click the script icon. Then, using the drop-down box, select the versioning folder and the Purge Attribute History script. Click OK. Core will ask you if you want to run for all classes. Select No. Using the dialog boxes, choose the facility, class, element, and attribute. Then confirm that you're ready to proceed. The script will run and alert you when the purge is complete. As we mentioned in the first versioning screencast, versioning is only enabled by default on elements in specific classes. Also, only a limited set of attributes have versioning enabled. At times, you may find that you wish to adjust the versioning settings. This can be done in schema mode. From the Project Explorer, click Project, shift to schema mode. A dialog box will appear that warns you that schema changes will affect data in the database. You are asked if you want to export the database. For the purpose of this screencast, we will select No. To change the versioning setting of a specific attribute, click on Classes, select a class, then double-click on the attribute you'd like to change. In the Attribute Property window, click on the Versioned box to enable versioning. Notice that the last modified timestamp changes. Click OK. The same method can be used to disable versioning on an attribute or to view the current versioning setting. To alter the versioning setting for all attributes in a class, right-click on the class that you would like to change. We'll choose Category, then Enable Versioning. You will then be prompted to decide if you wish to enable versioning for all attributes of the class and subclasses. If you select No, the dialog will close and no changes will be made. Select Yes, then we'll switch back to database mode. Now, let's take a look at the category class that we just changed. Notice there is now a versioning icon in front of specific attributes. This concludes our versioning series of screencasts. Thank you for taking the time to learn about this new feature in Core 6.